Today we're going to be rebuilding the Memphis Grizzlies with everything they have done this offseason. The Dillon Brooks, Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson era is over. All those guys are gone, and welcome in Cameron Boozer. It is officially a new page for the Memphis Grizzlies. But before we get into today's video, YouTube does tell me about 55% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed. So if you do fall in that 55%, want to change that as we're on the road to 50,000 subs, that'd be greatly appreciated. So the Grizzlies have gone through quite some change this offseason. Obviously, they walk out of draft night with Cameron Boozer and also Kareem Lopez, I believe, later in the first round. I'm pretty sure he was a first round pick. Yeah, at 21 overall. They've been involved in quite a few trades. They've brought in D'Angelo Russell and then Isaiah Stewart, obviously, as well. They currently apparently have 23 players under contract. I only have 20 in here. One of them is Taj Gibson, which I don't think he'll end up. I didn't even realize Taj Gibson was still in the league, honestly, for a second there. But it's always signed a multi-year deal. Anyway, it's not important. But we're going to have to get rid of 5 players before we even go into the season, which is going to be interesting. They also just signed Quentin Post to an offer sheet. The Warriors decided not to match it because obviously they're pursuing LeBron James. So yeah, we got ourselves quite a interesting first start here before we even get into the season. Of course, before I go any further, my share scenario continues to be updated every time I get the chance, and recently Clarkson just signed with the Knicks. I've already updated that, so if you want to find it, this is how you would find it. This is my gamer tag and then what it is titled. So I've done my best to try to keep it as accurate as possible. I hope you guys are enjoying it. But other than that, one guy we know for sure is going to be bought out is KCP. There's already been news about it, so he'll probably end up being one of the guys that doesn't make it. We'll probably cut like Chris Murray or something. I don't know. But yeah, I guess we got to cut this roster down and we'll kind of figure out what 5 guys are not making it into next season. We can kind of look at this new rotation. But yeah, Dillon Brooks, Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, all traded away. And the funniest part about it all is Ja Morant is the one that you got the least amount of assets for. Nobody would have believed that 5 years ago or whatever it was, man. Absolutely insane. So to start this video, these are the 5 guys I decided to release. Obviously, your guess is as good as mine on how they cut it down to the 15 players required going into the season, but these are the 5 guys I did choose. Now, Richie Saunders might be someone they put on a 2-way. I don't think that's official yet. I could be wrong, but basically, he's a 67 overall in 2K. Only reason why I cut him, he was just drafted by them, so that one's probably not as realistic, obviously, but with him being a 67 overall, he probably won't play a big role in this video. Then D'Lo, obviously KCP, Chris Murray, Richie, AJ Johnson. So those are guys we cut. I think D'Lo and KCP is kind of a safe bet. The other 3, I mean, I have no idea. But other than that, we look at this rotation as of right now. We have a 10-man rotation with Ty Jerome, Cedric Howard, Jalen Wells, Cameron Boozer, Zach Edey, Gigi Jackson, Isaiah Stewart, Jeremy Grant, Javon Small, Cam Spencer, and then that leaves like a lot of guys on the rotation that I think could very well play, which actually is kind of unfortunate, but that's just how deep this team is at the moment. And it really doesn't matter how good we are this season. The only thing that matters is developing Cameron Boozer. I can't in good, faith, though, make sure he's only playing. Yeah, so I want him to play the most amount of minutes, 28 minutes a night, but we obviously have extra draft picks for the future, which is good. And so Ty Jerome, Cedric Howard, Wells, Boozer, Edey. And then I did get one other suggestion, which I found interesting that I think I'm going to do today just to kind of see how it would go. So someone told me that the reason why some of these teams are simulating so well is because the defensive focus on, some of these teams is aggressive or whatever. If I set, I think it's, I don't know which one, neutral defense focus, limit per shots. I don't know which one it is. Or maybe it's this, conservative defense, neutral defensive aggression. So maybe if we changed everybody to neutral, would that change the sim up? Would the Blazers be as OP? Would the Magic be as OP? I do wonder. So I do kind of want to try it on all 30 teams just to see if it would change the sim a little bit. So we're going to do that as well as kind of a twist in this one. But for now, obviously the biggest thing is let's just be as bad as possible. Of course, you don't want to be that bad, but I think we'll be fine enough to where, the new lottery rules aren't in effect in 2K, but we know. I've done enough yapping, though, to start this video. I'm going to change every team's defensive focus to neutral just to see what happens in year 1. I just want to see if it changes anything because I do think that's kind of an interesting caveat that could. So let's get to the end of year 1 to see what happens if we do that. So we are at the trade deadline as we're 23 and 29 on the season, and we're actually a lot better than I expected. We're the 10th seed in the West right now, but there's one guy I do want to sell here at the deadline because Ty Jerome is having himself one hell of a season, and I don't know what his efficiency looks like, but yeah, he's playing really well. So I do want to try to get some value for him while he's at the peak of his value. So that is why we're here at the trade deadline. So I was already kind of scanning through trades. All I'm trying to get is a first. That's all I'm trying to get for Ty Jerome. There was some offers, and I did have one that caught my attention that the Rockets were offering. We'd get Fred VanVleet's expiring contract and a first. I think I might be all over that. So Of course, there's some similar offers, which I could go with a bunch of them. But, I mean, even the Spurs give me Cornet's fine, I guess. But I think I'm going to do this one because we don't have to be committed to, obviously, Fred VanVleet long-term. He walks, and then he's only averaging 8 points for them. So Ty Jerome could be a bigger, offensive pack-a-punch. I don't know. So just like that, Fred VanVleet is brought in. He starts, which is fine. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. I'm hoping it makes this worse because, obviously, I kind of want to be a bad team. 23 and 29, but yeah, things are going fairly well. And I did change everybody's defensive focus. I don't know if the playoffs will look different, but I'm definitely curious to see if they will be. It was interesting, though, because a lot of the teams that are OP did have physical defense on. So I wonder if it does change a lot. We'll see. It should be an interesting playoff run. Not for us, obviously, but just to kind of see who wins the championship, if it changes at all. So Jokic ends up winning MVP. Boozer does get Rookie of the Year. I did boost his shot tendency quite a bit. Now, obviously, he's going to have a ton of freedom on this team. So definitely very possible that Boozer's going to have a lot of freedom to be Rookie of the Year and score a lot. But here's All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, All-NBA third team, All-Defensive first, and All-Defensive second. But obviously, Boozer is the man we're going to be building around. And he's got, we got Boozer on here. And then we don't have like Kareem Lopez, but I don't think he played too much. But hopefully, he's a big part of what we're doing here going forward as well. But so if we look at it, you do have like the Magic still as the first seed, so I don't really know if it changed much, but obviously the playoffs could play differently. We'll see. But let's just go ahead and still only playoffs. See. Or I forgot we were in the play, and I forgot about that. I mean, it really didn't matter at the end of the day. We actually ended up beating the Lakers, funny enough. But yeah, I forgot we were good enough to be in the play-in tournament. But I'm kind of glad we're obviously in the lottery instead. Now, if this was the new lottery rules, we'd be in a good spot because obviously, we weren't one of those worst teams or whatever. But at the end of the day, for what we have in 2K, it does kind of hurt us a little bit. But let's look at the first round. The Portland Trailblazers, who have been often making it all the way to the conference finals, do lose in the first round. The Magic sweep the Knicks, though, and I'm surprised to see the Knicks as bad as they are. But I did, turn off physical defense for them, so I don't know. Orlando, though, does still seem to be doing really good, so I don't think it changed much for them. Yeah, so maybe this didn't change too much, other than I noticed the Blazers got eliminated, faster. The Thunder did go on to win it all. So I guess it changed a tad bit, but I don't know if it's something I should be focusing on. But anyway, let's get this interesting offseason coming up because I know we have quite a few lottery picks coming up. LeBron James, funny enough, signed with the Warriors, which and so did DeMar DeRozan, interesting enough. So that's fun. But let's go straight to the lottery because obviously that's going to be, huge here for us. So we have a few draft picks, I believe, but obviously the new lottery rules, the Jazz pick can't be in the top 5 or whatever. But I don't know if we'll follow that today. So we have that Lakers pick. We have our own pick. We have that Utah pick. Obviously, one. I actually think the LA and Utah ones both from the Jaren Jackson trade, if I remember correctly. So we end up at pick 3. So that's our pick, which we'll absolutely have. So we have 3, 7, and 14. That's actually awesome. So we can find a co-star with Boozer probably in this draft right now. I love that for us. We'll keep Thomas for now. I think he did pretty good, all things considered. So if we take a look. Oh, I loaded the wrong draft class. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Okay, it's fine. I can fix it still. That would have been horrible. So let me fix a draft class. I thought it was too little too late, but we're not there yet. Thank gosh I noticed. Oh my lord, that would have been bad. Okay, so this is what we should be looking at. So obviously there is some pretty good players. Austin Gooseby, I have not seen him before, but he must be a solid player to have been added in this class. So we get walk away with Stokes. Stefan Joksimovic is probably who I'd want, or Bruce Branch. Either way, I definitely want somebody, I mean, preferably at point guard, because we really don't have our point guard going forward, it feels like, after we traded away Ty Jerome. We have Clayton, and then we have, like, I know the Grizzlies could have had Bennett Sturts, but I guess they didn't believe in him. And then we have Scottie Pippen. But yeah, these guys obviously are our point guard solutions going forward. So preferably we do walk away with a point guard at pick 3, but we'll see what falls to us. And we have 2 lottery picks on top of that. So number 1 is going to be Stokes to Sacramento. OKC is going to take Jordan Smith Jr. So as I mentioned, I do think taking Stefan Joksimovic, if I'm even saying that correctly, is the guy to take. We'll be playing him at point guard with Boozer. I love that pick. Houston's going to take Austin Gooseby out of Texas. Daniel Jacobson goes to New Orleans, and then the Pacers take Bruce Branch. I would have definitely taken Bruce Branch had he fallen, but Caleb Holt is not a bad one either. So I like Cedric Howard, but, Caleb Holt could definitely become better than him potentially. There's McCoy as well, but I'm taking Caleb Holt, not thinking twice about that. So we might have our backcourt of the future in the same draft, which is awesome. You have Anthony Thompson. We have Gaskins down here, Mika Murinen, Dame Sarr, Taj Ariza. Kind of like the idea of taking Anthony Thompson here, though, at Ohio State. So we'll take him. And we have a 2nd round pick that this guy might be two-wayed. We'll see. I'll take Cernatich or Zert. I don't know how to say it, but there we go. I actually feel pretty good about the haul of prospects we just added. 76, 77, and 77, and a 71 in the 2nd round. Love it. Stewart, I am going to go ahead and decline. Grant accepting is not a shocker. And then Pippen and Clayton. I feel like I should choose one or the other. And since obviously Clayton has more years on his contract left, although I will say Pippen did play a little bit better than him. Maybe we take Pippen and maybe we accept Pippen instead then. So Grant obviously will still remain with his massive contract, but there's only 1 year left. And then Small and Prosper, we'll see. I might come back to them, but for now, I'm not going to extend the qualifying offer. G.G. Jackson's a free agent. So is Hendricks, so is Prosper, so is Stewart, and so is VanVleet. So what do we look like now? So we have Pippen at point guard, which obviously that'll change in just a second because we'll be moving Joksimovic over there to point guard. He'll be starting there. Jalen Wells, Jeremy Grant, Anthony Thompson. So I think, and then Kareem Lopez, who's 6'8". So I think preferably we do this. Let's move Grant to the 4. He'll go down. It really doesn't matter because we can maybe use his contract or maybe he just walks. We'll see. But I'm going to move him to 77 overall. And then we'll move, like I said, I was going to move, obviously, Kareem Lopez, and he does go up. So that's what I wanted to move. So Kareem Lopez slides over. Maybe he won't start this year, but he's going to have a chance to play in the rotation a little bit more. Grant and then Post, I feel good about that. And obviously, the only other thing I want to do is move Joksimovic to point guard. He'll probably go down a little bit. He did go down 2, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. So 77, 75, Coward, Spencer, Caleb Holt, and then, yeah, so I really don't feel the need to bring anybody back then. So we're probably not going to bring any of these guys back, unfortunately. It was great to have you guys, but I think we feel pretty good about what we have at home here. So I'm going to renounce all these guys. And, oh, besides G.G. Jackson, actually, I do want to bring him back. He's always a pretty good player to bring back. So forgot about him. So let's go to bring back G.G. Jackson. We'll find a way to play him somehow. That's the only guy we're going to bring back. Other than that, that is it. Let's go to player progression, and let's see what we got. So we got Boozer up to an 85 already. Great sign. Kareem Lopez already going up as well. G.G. Jackson's up. Love to see that. And then you got Wells, Cedric Coward, so that's all really good stuff. You do have Grant and then Post and Joksimovic going down because we moved Yoke obviously over. But other than that, year 1, we did make it into the play-in, got eliminated. I forgot to even look at the play-in tournament because I was so distracted by what the new playoffs would look like if we changed the focus, but didn't really change much, it seemed like. So other than that, let's get into this next season and let's see how much different we are. Can Boozer lead us to the playoffs his sophomore year? Probably not yet, but we're definitely getting somewhere. The Power Rank has us at 24th overall, and then we have our coach probably in the last year of his deal. I don't think I'm re-signing him unless we just have like a crazy run this year. But the only other thing I'm noticing is obviously Scottie Pippen can hit the bench. Unfortunately, I mean, I got to start Mr. Yoke here because he's going to be the future of this team, hopefully, with Boozer. So let's do that right now. Force non-starter on Pippen. And you'll have Joksimovic in there with Coward, Wells, Boozer, Edie, G.G. Jackson, Kareem Lopez, Spencer, Pippen, and then Caleb Holt. So that leaves like, Post, Serdtich, or however you say it, Grant, and then Anthony Thompson out of the rotation. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty good about what it looks like as far as shot sensor is concerned. Obviously, Boozer has a high one. I know Caleb Holt has a high one of the draft, so he'll probably end up being better than Cedric Coward because I noticed Coward only gets to like an 84, 85 and stops, progressing. So there's a chance that Coward becomes a bench shooting guard eventually if, Caleb Holt becomes better than him, but we shall see. So Power Rank has us at 24th. Should be an interesting second season. I mean, if we made the playoffs, it'd be kind of wild. I'm fully expecting to still be kind of a lottery team, play-in team here. But with a bright future ahead of us, and then once we get a new coach in here, then you could start considering, maybe we're a play-in team next year, and maybe even a playoff team if we're able to get things to swing in our favor. Ja Morant wins MVP for the Blazers, averaging 34 and 7. Oh my lord, that is kind of wild. Now, as a Blazers fan, if Ja Morant became that good, obviously, I'd be pretty happy. But Cameron Williams is your Rookie of the Year, Jalen Green is your 6th man, Wemby is your depoy, Peterson's your Most Improved, and Edwards is your Clutch Player. Jordan Otts, Coach of the Year, and Lance Alford is your Executive. So Zion wins Cup MVP as well. So yeah, All-NBA first team for Ja Morant, obviously, after that season he just had. Here's your All-NBA second team, and here is your All-NBA third team. Boozer with making an All-NBA third team is actually pretty huge already in his second season, so love to see that. And then here is your all-defensive teams. Nobody representing for us here, but we ended up as the, I forgot to look at all rookie teams, but we end up as the 10th seed in the West. Here are your player stats. You had 27, 19. So getting 19 points per game from Stefan Joksimovic already is awesome. I think I saw him make all-rookie first team, which is great to see. So, yeah, all-team rookie. Love that. G.G. Jackson with 15. Kareem Lopez played a little bit more this year. Averaged 14. 13 from Cedric Coward. 11 from Caleb Holt. 8 and 10 from Zach Edey. So, One thing that does happen since we've added expansion, because that's like a rumored thing, is 2K always moves the Grizzlies to the East. So we actually might get moved to the Eastern Conference today. So this might be our last run in the West here. So let's go ahead and see how this is going to go. So we're pretty much in the same spot as last year. We got in the play-in once again. We ended up beating the Lakers in the first leg, and we lost in the second leg. So let's see what happens this time around. And it looks like we are going to go ahead and lose here to the Mavericks. So 2 play-in appearances in a row, but obviously never making the playoffs just yet. But there's still a lot of room to grow, so not overly concerned about it just yet. You do have the Blazers. Yeah, so I really don't think changing the focus made any difference. It feels like it really didn't. Maybe if I put physical defense on some other teams, it would change things. But yeah, the Magic going to beat the Blazers in 5. So other than that, this is the offseason of expansion. And like I said, we'll be moving to the East today, or in this offseason, I should say. So let's go ahead and add expansion, and let's get moved to the East as well. So we now find ourselves in the Eastern Conference, which is pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at this lottery and see where we end up. So we have the 7th best odds here, and we are going to get picked 2. So that's 2 years in a row where we get some crazy lottery luck. I ain't complaining, though. Very happy with that. We can keep adding young talent to this team. Love that. So we do not have Isolo under contract anymore. But that's fine. I kind of wanted to move on from him anyway. 2 playing appearances in a row is not too bad. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, if we're going to get better, then, you know, getting a new coach is probably going to be the way to start this off. So bench, I mean, I've offered a lot of good coaches contracts. We'll go for Nick Nurse as well. But I don't know if any of these guys are going to... Whoops, I did not mean to give that guy an offer. But I don't know if any of these guys are going to accept. Quinn Snyder wouldn't be bad either. So I gave out 6 offers, one of them by accident. But okay. Wait, do we have our choice at any of them? We do. I don't... other than Steve Kerr, which is fine. So what do I want? Tyronn Lue always feels like the one that gives me... Quinn Snyder wouldn't be bad either. But I do think I'm going to go for Tyronn Lue. So Tyronn Lue is now the coach of the Grizzlies. Let's go straight to the protection part, obviously, with this being a big part of this offseason. So honestly, what they're suggesting is absolutely what I agree with. We can let Cam Spencer and Quentin Post go for sure. Post was already regressing anyway. So yeah, I agree with that list entirely. So now let's go to draft night. We have the 2nd overall pick. I did load the right draft class this time. So was it 3 or I forget. Was it 2 or 3? It was 2. Oh my gosh, we get to walk away with Spears or Rosser. That's actually wild. So preferably we get Spears, because I've had Rosser in so many videos, but let's see. Rosser does go 1. So we walk away with Spears, who I believe I just saw ended up committing to Texas today as I'm recording this. So welcome to the Grizzlies, Marcus Spears, man. We got ourselves something special brewing here, I feel like, in Memphis right now. This team should be pretty damn good going forward. And a lot of the young guys we already have probably aren't going to be a big, you know... or like Jalen Wells, Cedric Coward are going to be getting replaced, it feels like. So Spears and Josh Leonard, player options, I'm going to accept all of these. And then qualifying offer, Zach Edey is a free agent. I do want to bring him back, because I think if nothing else, he is a very serviceable center. I don't want to lose Jalen Wells either for nothing, so we'll bring him back as well. Zach Edey will bring back, and we'll let Pippen and Grant walk, though. So we'll get these 2 back. Pretty easy contracts to go ahead and offer. That's a no-brainer in my opinion. So do need a better backup center, because Quentin Post is gone. Or no, he's still here. I guess he didn't get taken from us. But we'll get a better backup center, hopefully. But Boozer, Gigi Jackson. We obviously just brought in Marcus Spears, which is interesting. So we do want to start him right away. I feel like Jalen Wells would hit the bench. Lopez, I mean, where do we play him then? Interesting. And then Anthony Thompson. We're getting pretty deep here. We're definitely getting pretty deep. So let's focus on getting a new backup center. We could give Garland a contract, but I'm not going to do that. Peyton Pritchard as a backup point guard sounds good to me, though. Or Davion Mitchell or Bones Highland. But I'm going to give Peyton Pritchard a 2-year deal. That sounds good to me, to be our backup point guard here in Memphis. Love that. And now we're going to go try to get a different backup center using Post's contract and maybe somebody else as well. Because we have a lot of depth, so we might as well use it to try to upgrade. Maybe even the starting center spot, and Zach Edey becomes a bench center. I don't know. We'll see. So I think I am going to be trading for Derek Lively here. I really hate to do this to Gigi Jackson, but at the end of the day, I feel like we brought in a lot of scoring, like Joksimovic. We have, obviously, Spears coming in and Boozer. So I think Gigi Jackson is kind of redundant here today. And I do want to focus on developing like Kareem Lopez, who's a new addition. So I do hate doing this to Gigi Jackson. I usually love keeping him in his Grizzlies videos. but Lively in a first sounds pretty good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and do that trade. So now you have Lively and Zach Edey as our center rotation. You got Boozer at the 4. That's going to move like Lopez back to the 4 or something. We'll figure it out. And then you kind of have a nice little rotation here. So yeah, that's kind of what my thought process was. So I hate to do that to GG Jackson, but at the end of the day, I do think he was the sacrifice that needed to be made because, you know, Caleb Holt's going to come in and score more. He has a high shot density, which we can reduce. Spears is going to come in and score a lot. I think Thompson's up now. So there was just so much depth and so many guys I wanted to play. I feel like GG Jackson was the sacrifice we had to make. But this team with Tyronn Lue should be very good. I feel like we're not even fully developed yet. Once we hit that stage where everybody is like 85 overall and above, or whoever's going to get there eventually, this team could be truly really special. And I cannot wait to get to that point because this team is going to look crazy. But let's look at it right now. Okay, so this is what things currently look like going into next season. So Stefan Joksimovic, Cedric Coward, Marcus Spears, Cameron Boozer, Zach Edey, Jalen Wells, Derek Lively, Caleb Holt, Peyton Pritchard, and Kareem Lopez, which is my ideal rotation, which I like. The only other thing to look at now is what are the shot tendencies. So we have a 90 shot tendency on Boozer, which I obviously love. Coward's shot tendency is low, so is Jalen Wells, which is fine. Joksimovic has somewhat of a high shot tendency. Caleb Holt, I think his has to be reduced today. If he was a bigger like part of this, I would absolutely be all for it. But unfortunately for him, there's just so many guys that I want to score over him. Like I want to keep Joksimovic's somewhat high, maybe reduce it just a tad bit. But Spear should be coming with a high one, and he does. So he has an 89. So him and Boozer are the two guys that obviously have the most potential to develop into like superstars for us. So along with Stefan is in a way as well. But yeah, this should be an interesting team this year. Power Rank only has us at 22nd, 3.5 balance system, but in due time, this team is going to be very, very good with progression behind it. So let's simulate this season. We get off to a 2-0 start, and it looks like we're gonna potentially be over 500 at the end of the season based off how things are going, which is not surprising. So the first season with Lue coaching, you might see us be a playoff team, but time will tell. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. A lot of special things going on here, and eventually this team is going to be terrifying, I feel like, but we just got to wait for progression to hit us a little bit further. So Wembanyama wins MVP, Roster's Rookie of the Year in Brooklyn, so it doesn't go to Spears, but that's okay. Scoot's your 6th man, Wemby is your depoy, Small is your most improved going to Seattle, Luka is your clutch player, and Mitch Johnson Coach of the Year, and Aaron Phillips is your executive, and Franz is your Cup MVP. So here is your All-NBA first team. Here is your All-NBA second. No Grizzlies just yet, but you do get Boozer still making All-NBA teams on All-NBA third team. Love to see that. All defensive first team and all defensive second team. And here is your all rookie teams with Spears being on here, which makes sense. And that's it. But already we finish up as the 3rd seed as we find our way in the East, like I said. And yeah, we're not even fully at a point where all these guys are like their fully evolved selves, and we're already, you know, the 3rd seed in the East. So I do feel like this team eventually is going to be very tough to stop. But with that being said, we have our first playoff run here with what we have right now. So let's see how far we go. The Milwaukee Bucks are our first round matchup. At this point, they have Yakachonas, Tyler Hero, Jalen Green, Zion has been added over there, Missy, KPJ, Connect, Clayton, and Isaiah Evans. So game 1 is going to go to us. Game 2 is going to go to us as well. Game 3 is going to go to us, and game 4 is going to go to Milwaukee. And they win game 5 as well, and they win game 6. Uh-oh, we are in trouble. We went up 3-0, and we're about to blow this. That's not good. So let's see if we can win game 7. Why does 2K feel like 3-0 comebacks are like so common? I swear they happen all the time. I mean, even for me, like, don't get me wrong, I've been a team that's come down from 3-0, and we do thankfully hang on here. That would have been really bad. But now we play their Orlando Magic team that we tried to nerf today. Caleb Holt does pick up an injury, so that obviously doesn't help. Doesn't help much. But we are, pretty deep, so I do feel like we can get by without him. I might even run this to an 8-man rotation, though, because the Magic are just so damn good. But let's see. So we got Boston and Atlanta on the other side. So game 1 against Orlando, they do go up 1-0. They're up 2-0. So I don't think we're ready for the Magic just yet, unless we win game 4 as well. Nope, 3-1. And we actually do win game 5, so we force a game 6 back to Memphis. Maybe, just maybe we force a game 7, come down from 3-1 to make it happen. Can we? It's a close game 6, but we've had the lead most of it. And we are indeed going to force a game 7, so we are not done here yet. But this is already, like I said, with where we're at right now, is already a really good sign that eventually we're going to be probably this most dangerous team in this conference. Because we are still so young right now. But we are not going to beat the Magic in game 7. But That is a damn good sign that we are going to be very good. Boston, Orlando. The Boston with no, obviously Jaylen Brown. They're the first seed in the East, and they've made it all the way to the conference finals, but the Magic will probably have something to say about that, and they do. Is Magic and Mavericks, and the Magic go on to win it all. Paulo is your finals MVP. Here's your retirements, and obviously we don't really need to worry about expansion this offseason any further, so we're going to go ahead and get straight to the lottery. I don't believe we have anybody's pick here, but I could be wrong. No, it doesn't. I don't think we need it. So I'm kind of glad we don't have one because we don't need it at all. We have Houston's pick from that Ty Jerome trade, so we can add like a depth piece at 16. But other than that, man, yeah, next season could be truly really special, and I cannot wait to see how good we're going to be. So I'm going to accept all these options, and Josh Leonard, I'm going to go ahead and decline because I just don't see him becoming a big part of what we're doing here. But on draft night, we ended up taking Austin Leonard at 16, and then obviously we let another Leonard go with Josh, but I don't know if they're related at all, but it'd be cool if they were. For free agency, we have Cedric Coward, which I am going to bring him back. I know, like I've been saying, that Caleb Holt might develop better than he does, but at the end of the day, I just don't want to bring him back. And then obviously our other free agent is here as well. Would like to bring him back, but we'll see what 2K allows me to do there. So I am going to go ahead and give him a 3-year deal to bring him back, because if nothing else, he's depth that could develop really well. But I really don't think we need to do much of anything else. Caleb Holt, once he's healthy, our back shooting guard spot will look even better. Maybe, just maybe, if we're lucky, he gets better than Coward, but I don't know if he's there yet. Let's go to progression, though. This probably is going to be looking pretty good if I had to guess. So yeah, 89 Boozer, 87 Marcus Spears, 84 Kareem Lopez. Love to see that. 83 from Joksimovic, and then 83 Jalen Wells, going down a little bit. But yeah, and then the guy re-signed up to an 81. So very good stuff. Anthony Thompson not moving much, but that's okay. Caleb Holt didn't move much either, but maybe next season. But at the end of the day, Spears and Boozer are going to be the two guys that lead us into this, and we just came away from forcing the Magic to 7 games. They were the team that won the championship. So I have a lot of optimistic hope for this next season that I don't know if we can win a championship, but I do feel like making it all the way to the conference finals is definitely in the ballpark of what we could accomplish next year. So here is rotation. So I have Joksimovic at point guard. Coward will still start because obviously Caleb Holt did not jump up. I think it's next year he gets like a big jump, but we'll see. Spears with 87, 89 Boozer, 82 Zach Edey, 84 Kareem Lopez, 83 Wells, 82, 81, and 81. So yeah, and then Pritchard is completely out of the rotation right now, but at the end of the day, we are 4-star balance. We just came off a really good run last year, and I have a good feeling about this year with Spears fully up to like an 87 right now. Boozer, developing really well still. So as long as we can be a playoff team in this conference, I do believe we'll go really far. So I will see you guys at the end of the season, and there is a potential chance that this could be a year that we bring home a championship because we've just gotten so lucky in the lottery, and that has been a big part of our success so far. So Cade's going to come out and win MVP. You got Colton Hiller, Rookie of the Year in Chicago. Jordan Smith is your 6th man. Wemby is your DPOY, and Rosser is your most improved. Edwards in Denver. Wow, I've never really seen him leave the Timberwolves. Clutch Player of the Year. I mean, I have before, but just not very often. Just kind of weird seeing him in a Nuggets jersey. So if you're a Timberwolves fan, look away because that probably looks really bad. But AD is your Cup MVP, and Park is your executive. So the Celtics, despite, Brown being gone, have played pretty well today. So you do have Ross already making All-NBA first team for Brooklyn, which makes sense. The Brooklyn Nets have needed somebody to kind of lead that franchise, and they found their guy. This year, we do not get any Boozer or anything like that, so no Grizzlies representatives, even though we've had that every year. But I presume that, LaMelo ended up in Boston. Interesting. So what do the Timberwolves look like? Maxey? Oh, my Lord. There's been some crazy movement around the league. Jalen Brown's still in Philly, though, and he makes All-NBA third team. So all defensive first and all defensive second. So, yeah, I actually want to see what the Timberwolves look like now. So I saw they have Maxey, but Edwards and LaMelo are gone. Now they have Maxey, McDaniels, I'd assume, Rob. I mean, it's actually not that crazy, other than, I guess, their backcourt's gone. Gobert's obviously retired now. But anyway, we're the 3rd seed in the East, going up against the Knicks in round 1. So here were your player stats. So you had 24 from Boozer, just wasn't good enough this year, I guess. 20 from Spears, 19 from Lopez, who's turning out to be a really good player as well. 18, and then 13. 12 from Holt, and 10 from Cedric Coward. But okay, here goes nothing for this season. As I mentioned, we made it pretty far last year in the second round, deep in the second round, but lost. So now we have to play the Knicks, who have not really been a problem today, but, maybe they turned it up on us here. But we do win game 1, 32, 13, and 10. Game 2, Gonna go to us. So far, so good. 3-0. But we went up 3-0 on the Bucks and almost blew it. So I'm not getting my hopes up just yet. And there it is. They win one game, and we do beat them. All right. Now to play the Celtics, who we just did a rebuild on, and they've been pretty good today. They got LaMelo added, so they do look a little bit better with him. Arenas, obviously, as well. Keita, DeClan. You got Anthony Simons, Mitch Robinson. Not a bad Boston team at all. I'll shrink bench utilization down a little bit. Hopefully, we're up for the task here. Game 1 does go to us on the road, and then Jalen Walls is healthy now. And then we do get OG back. I'm just going to call him OG. I don't know how to say his name correctly. But Game 2 goes to us. Even though I believe someone told me how to say it, I just forget, man. Game 3 goes to Boston, though. And the road team has won every single game so far. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's not good. We do lose Joksimovic, though. So that's probably a big part of it. Is he out for the season? Or is he just out for like a while? 2 to 4 weeks. So that could be out for the season, but we'll see. Okay. So game 5 on the road in Memphis. Give more minutes to Emmanuel Sharp. Who the hell is Emmanuel Sharp? Okay. Interesting. But can we win this big game 5 on the road? Oh, man. What just happened there? We lost on a buzzer, I believe. Damn. LaMelo. LaMelo, of all people, got that buzzer beater on us. That's terrible. Okay. Well, we got... Oh, they want to start Emmanuel Sharp at point guard. Interesting. That's why. Ugh, I don't know. Emmanuel Sharp... I mean, I know his list... Why isn't Pritchard starting over him? They just not want to start Pritchard? I don't get that. I'm going to change that. I don't know why we would do that instead of just putting Pritchard in there. You know, he could start against his former team. Don't know what Sharp has on Pritchard here. Overall is definitely not there, but can we win game 6 to force a game 7? If Joksimovic was healthy, the series is probably swinging in our favor, but no, not quite yet. Obviously, losing Joksimovic did hurt us a little bit, but got Boston making it all the way, and they did go on to win the championship, to be fair, as well, so we can't be too discouraged. We'll go once again here. I don't expect a lot to change. The biggest thing for us is re-signs, which we need to do. So let's go ahead and reject these, and let's go to the re-signing stage. Lou obviously remains the coach. Don't believe we had a lottery pick, but, you know, maybe we do. We have the Orlando's pick. That's from the Desmond Bane trade. And then, so yeah, we have pick 15. Whoever we drafted 15 probably doesn't play like that big of a role here, but we'll still go ahead and draft someone there, of course, nonetheless. So at pick 15... we will be taking none other than Theodore Farmer or Rudolph. I mean, yeah, again, I don't know how much of a role these guys are going to play. We're pretty late in this video here. So we'll take Rudolph here as a 67. And we had a late first rounder as well, both 68. So again, don't expect a whole lot there. But I'm going to accept all of these. And then obviously the biggest thing is re-signing Boozer and Lopez. Definitely want to bring both of them back. So Lively, I will, look to bring back as well. He does have some offers, though, and he does have interest from the Nets that he is interested in going to. There's a chance he doesn't choose us, but I'll give him like $12 million a year to see if that changes his mind. Boozer's getting an offer sheet, so is Lopez. Both of them trying to leave, but we do get everybody to come back, which I'm totally content with. I think this is all we need to do, is just bring everyone back. And then we'll see if there's any trades to make. It all depends on what progression looks like, but we definitely need a new point guard for sure. But we're pretty deep at the wing spot, so I do feel like we could trade for like a better backup point guard, but we'll see. So player progression, you're going to have Joksimovic up to an 88. You got Lopez up to an 86 as well. You got OG Srdtich up to an 84 and Kilbolt up to an 83. Cedric Coward is down. So Stefan, and then we do need a better backup point guard. We're so deep at shooting guard right now, Simon Funny and the 3. So I do think ultimately you guys are going to see me try to trade for a better backup point guard here with some of these guys we do have. And I honestly can't think of a better backup point guard to trade for. This does feel like a lot to give up, but at this point, we're trying to go into championship. A 91 Jared McCain off the bench or starting and then connect as a throw-in isn't a horrible thing either. So, yeah, absolutely sign me up for that. We could be patient and wait for some of those guys to develop, but at this point, we kind of have a locked-in loaded rotation. McCain now may start over, Stefan, which either way works for me, but McCain being brought in as a 91 overall cannot be discouraged by that. So look at this rotation going into next season. You know, it also may not be a bad idea to just start Joksimovic in the backcourt with McCain, because he is going to go up if we do that. Now, we are deep at shooting guard, but at the end of the day, I mean, we get our best players in there. Your whole starting 5 would be, other than 89 overall and above. Can't be mad at that. So our bench is still very good. I'm going to do it. Let's do it. Why not? So McCain going to start point guard with Stefan, Spears, Boozer, Edie, Lopez, Cedric Howard, OG, Jalen Wells, and Lively. I mean, that rotation looks pretty damn good. The only unfortunate part is 2K only has us at power rank 18th, so that's kind of a bad sign, but ultimately shouldn't matter too much. This team is just so talented on paper. Hopefully it does equal to winning championships, though. That obviously having all these overalls doesn't always mean everything. Sometimes there's too many cooks in the kitchen, but it does ultimately look like this team is clicking very well right now. McCann being brought in, I think, could help us put us over the top. First in the East right now. Let's hopefully hold that, and I will see you guys at the end of the season. Hopefully being able to hoist a Larry O'Brien at the end of the playoffs. So yeah, at the end of the season, quite the run, but I'll show you why in just a second. Jokic wins MVP in Dallas, so obviously him and Flag could be a problem, but thankfully we're not in that conference anymore. Here are your awards for some of these other guys, though. But one, and Bennett Sturts joined Dallas as well. Paul is your clutch player. But we went 72-10. So, yeah, very good. And then Boozer won Cup MVP. No NBA first team for any of our guys. No NBA second team. And no NBA third team. Okay. All defensive first and all defensive second. None of that either. But you know what? It's okay. At the end of the day, first seed in the East. Cannot be mad at that. 72-10. So, obviously, the expectation is extremely high here. 18, 21, 23, 16 from McCain, 18 from Lopez, 15 from I mean, yeah, look at this. We had 6 double-digit scores, all of them in the high 15s. That is awesome. Yeah, there's no reason why this team can't win this whole thing, but let's see what 2K thinks, obviously. And hopefully health, stays afloat so we can, go as far as we want. The Milwaukee Bucks are our matchup, and they did push us pretty far 2 seasons ago. But I'm hoping that is not going to be the case this time around. In fact, we do sweep them. So let's just get out of there alive and healthy, hopefully. And we did. That's great. Now I get to play Detroit or Boston. Boston won the whole thing last year, and they lose to Detroit this time. Get to deal with Cade Cunningham, who sometimes can be a problem. But I would hope with what we have on our side that, we'll be just fine. But we'll see. Game 1 goes to Detroit as I say that. Game 2 goes to Detroit. Okay, interesting. We go down 2-0. I didn't mean to keep running a 9 or a 10-minute rotation, but a little surprised that we dropped both games at home, but maybe 2K has it in us for us to win both games on the road and tie this series, where it looks like we are going to win game 3 pretty confidently, so that's good. Yep, won that one pretty easily. So hopefully we can repeat that in game 4 on the road, but losing to the Pistons right now would be very unacceptable because we just have so much more talent on them, but, one thing I'll say, I'm not really too surprised by this. As I said, Cade Cunningham is just one of those guys that, for whatever reason, man, very unstoppable in 2K, and he might be showing that right now. We have an 89 overall and above at 4 spots, and we're down 3-1, and we almost just lost this game as well. Absolutely kind of crazy, but I'm not surprised by it by any means. So Detroit, Cade's still healthy. We got to win 2 games in a row. We have to win 3 in a row. We just won 1. We got to win another 2 in a row just to get to the conference finals. I thought it was going to be a slam dunk easy one that we get there with our 72-10 record, but not guaranteed. Now we do win this one, so we do have a shot at going to the conference finals and playing Rosser and the Nets. Well, let's see if 2K gets us past the Pistons here in game 7. The first quarter goes to them. Second quarter goes to them as well. We have to have a late comeback here, and we're not going to get it, I don't think. Oh my gosh, we did. Okay, so 119 to 127. We do beat the Pistons. We were down 3-1, went down 2-0. That was a little harder than I thought it should have been, but you know what? At the end of the day, at least we won, and there's no complaints from me anymore. Now for the Brooklyn Nets, and we'll see what they look like. So Beckham Black also added with Rosser. Damn, they actually look pretty good. Yakachonius is there, Bamba, Wallace. I actually love what the Nets have put together. So I'm going to take this team pretty serious here. So let's simcast game 1 in Memphis because I do kind of fear this team that I'm looking at right now. And the fact that Cade and the Pistons took us as far as we did, it does kind of worry me, but we do win game 1. So game 1 goes to us, which is good. Now for game 2. And that was a very close game 1, so I would love if game 2 wasn't close, but it looks like it will be. In fact, they may have won it unless... Nope, not quite. Okay, so we're going to lose game 2 on the road, at home. So now we got to get one on the road, so we'll see if we can do that. So we split in Memphis. We preferably split in Brooklyn as well, or maybe we get both. That'd be even better, but just give me one at least, and I could feel pretty good about it, and it looks like we'll get it out of the way here in game 3. Love that. Don't have to worry about it, but I would love nothing more than to win game 4 as well and go up 3-1 and feel pretty good about getting to the finals here, which it looks like that might happen. And we are indeed going to win and go up 3-1. Great stuff. Everyone is still playing, so we just got to win one more and we're in the finals. And we do just that. So OKC or Denver. I am curious to see what the Nuggets look like, and it might be our matchup. It's going to be the Thunder, though, isn't it? It is the Thunder. Damn, I want to play the Nuggets because I know they have Edwards and Jokic is gone. Caleb Holt went to OKC. That's interesting. We traded him there. Duh. Kyrie Irving and Edwards were together in Denver. Yeah. Tonka Nipples over there, too. Almost glossed over that. But okay. The OKC Thunder. You know, J-Dub, Chet, Rasheer Fleming starting center, I guess. Interesting. Okay. Jordan Smith, Anthony Thompson, Caleb Holt. It's a good-looking team over there in OKC. We look good as well. We'll see what happens. Let's once again start with a Simcast Sim, though. And it is going to be an early lead for us, but won't get my hopes up just yet. Does look pretty good for us in game 1, though. So I do think we won game 1 pretty easily. What about game 2? Yes. Game 3? Yes. Oh, it was easy. Oh, okay. We lose game 4, though. Let's Simcast the rest, then. We already got a loss. Felt good about how it was going. Got greedy. Ooh, Boozer, are you out? Where'd you come out? Oh, he's out. Ooh, that. Oh, no, he's not. We're just moving Boozer to the bench casually like that? Or did we... I guess so. I'm not sure I agree with that, but sure. I mean, Lopez is up to an 87 in his own right, but kind of weird, but okay. As long as we win, I guess that's all that matters. But all right, it looks like we're going to win game 5 pretty comfortably, so that is good. So we have brought a championship to the Memphis Grizzlies, which is awesome. So sometimes, I'm not going to lie, getting lucky in the lottery so many times does kind of suck a little bit because it like makes it kind of hard to build, you know, with the, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it does feel like you're getting too many cooks in the kitchen. We did get a lot today, but thankfully it all worked out. So 156 to 114, but I would have felt pretty good about just getting role players around Boozer, Caleb Holt, and obviously Stefan Joksimovic, but we just kept getting lucky in the lottery with Spears being brought in as well, but can't complain. So other than that, that'll be how this one ends. We brought a championship to Memphis in the Boozer era, which is awesome. Hope you guys did enjoy it. I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying... peace.